Excellent.
And I'll share my
So
screen.
Viv, welcome. Thank you very much for joining us today. And the winner of our inaugural New Forest Charity of the Year 18 months ago,
Yes.
from the Honeypot Charity. And it'd be great to hear a bit more about what the charity's doing. And we'll share this information with everyone through the website and our weekly email. Over to you.
Thank you very much. So I've shared my screen. Hopefully you can see that lovely picture of the parachute games. I'm Viv Carter. I'm the Community Engagement Manager for the Honeypot Childrens Charity. And today is just to share a little bit of information about about us, and about how businesses across the New Forest can get involved if they so wish, and what we're about. So our vision is to build brighter futures and create happy childhood memories for young carers aged 5 to 12. So these are really little people who are doing the jobs at home that you would normally expect an adult to do, because they're caring for either a mum or a dad or a brother or sister or any other family member that lives with them who has a medical condition, a disability, a mental health issue, an addiction problem, anything really that means that the child is shouldering the responsibilities that are way beyond their years. We see children who are doing the cooking and cleaning, perhaps even picking up shopping on the way home from school to cook pizza or scrambled eggs for tea for themselves and their families. They're the emotional support for the person they are looking after. Some of our children say they're the best friend to the person they look after. Helping somebody get ready for bed, making sure they're taking their medication. And we've got children, I can think of at least 2 individuals who are 5 years old who are getting up 2 or 3 times a night to check that mummy is okay. Because either mummy has epilepsy and fits regularly, or another one has brain tumour and the little one is very worried about them. So they wake up to check that everything's okay, call for help if they need to. So we believe that every child has the right to make the most of their childhood, and particularly young carers. And that's why we exist. Just as Simi says on this picture, we think they're superheroes. So what is the reality of the situation of a young carer in the UK? Research from 2018 says there are 800,000 school-age young carers in the UK. That's 1 in 12 children. So in a normal school class, you would expect to see 2 or 3 children who are caring in addition to school. And many of them will care for 30, 40 hours a week on top of everything that they've got going on in their lives. And that, of course, impacts on their mental health, their education, and so much of their social development through their lives. And many of them are worried about the future, particularly after the pandemic, when they were severely impacted by the lockdowns. Recent research from my time down in Bournemouth, they shared last Carers Day, Young Carers Day, was that the average young carer loses 27 school days a year due to their caring responsibilities. So it is no wonder that they miss out not only on making friends and building that peer group support network, but also that their education and their GCSEs grades are lower. So I've got a little audio here of Holly, and she's going to tell you a bit about what she does and Honeypot.
My name's Holly and I'm 10 years old. I care for my mum. I care for my family. My brother has been ill, so I've been caring for him. My dad has got diabetes, so I've helped with that. I've helped my family loads. I like how Honeypot can give you support sometimes when you need it the most. And when my brother was ill with cancer, Honeypot gives you that feeling that Luke or your brother, sister, or sick sibling isn't the only person who matters. It gives you a chance to be free and stop worrying about things. I worry a lot, and breaks for Honeypot just make me feel like I belong to something bigger than I feel like I do. Honeypot just helps me stop worrying about stuff. Because there's no need to worry when you're having too much fun.
And I think that's really the essence of Honeypot, that there is no need to worry when you're having too much fun. And that's what we're, oh, sorry, Holly, I'm just getting her going again. And that's what Honeypot is all about. We've got 3 lovely houses now. And when we won the New Forest Business Partnership Charity of the Year in 2022, we only had 2 houses. We started at Honeypot House in the New Forest just outside Exbury 28 years ago. And 8 years ago, we bought Honeypot Pennybryn in the middle of Wales. And just last summer, well, September, we opened Honeypot Dal Eagles in Ayrshire in Scotland. So we're a growing charity. And from each of these houses, we're able to support over 1,000 young carers a year. That's age 5 to 12. So again, primary school and the first year of secondary school. From Honeypot House in the New Forest, which is the house I'm actually going to focus on, obviously, because it's local and that's where I'm sitting with Bumble, my mascot behind me. We support children from across the south of England. Our range is really 2.5 hours from Honeypot House. And we go from Poole to Brighton, all the way through Dorset, Hampshire, Wiltshire, up the M3 corridor into the south and west of London. And the children come every weekend, or in the school holidays. We don't take them out of school for their annual residential respite breaks because, as I've said, their education suffers enough. Currently across the New Forest, we've got definitely over 100 children that we support. We link with local schools and New Forest Young Carers and all sorts of other organisations, social services and GP practices for referrals. And we have a range of services, which I'm going to briefly take you through today. So this is just an overview. As I've said, 28 years. We are the only UK charity that continuously supports young carers from that very early age, 5, until their 13th birthday. It's a very targeted, focused age group because Young Carers projects are dotted around the country doing wonderful things with young carers in their local area. There's Bournemouth Young Carers, Southampton and New Forest Young Carers particularly. But they will start age 7, 8, or even some of them at 12. And it's the really early intervention age group that makes such a difference. And we feel it's very important to catch these young carers if we can when they're so young, to give them a real positive experience and create happy memories on which to build their future lives. As I said, we get referrals from various organisations that are already working with the families and know that there's a young carer involved. And as I said, we aim to support at least 1,000 young carers from each house every year. They come back every year. We are funded by donations. We receive a very small contribution to our funds from the Welsh Government for Welsh young carers in Wales, but that equates to about 2% of our income. So we do rely on every year raising a significant amount of money to be able to do what we do. The core of our services, the foundation of what we do and what we've always done is provide residential respite breaks at our houses. When I go into assemblies and schools and say residential respite breaks, they all look at me with glazed eyes. So basically what Honeypot does is double sleepovers full of fun and play dates. The double sleepovers are 3 days, 2 nights, basically a weekend. And we usually have 12 or 13 young carers. We go out in our minibus and scoop them up from a local area. We might go over to Lymington, where I think we've got 11 children at the moment, and perhaps pick up another child on the way back. They have an absolute ball. I would welcome anybody to visit Honeypot House. It's like a dream come true living here. It's like a haven of fun. We've got 7 acres just outside Exbury that we own, and you can see some of the grounds here. We've got trees to climb and dens to build, marshmallows to toast over a campfire, zip wire and trampolines. We've got an art studio, and we've got a play shack with table tennis and air hockey. We've got a lake with a crocodile in it. It's only wooden, but it has got very big teeth. We've got woods to build hedgehog dens in, and we've got Leap Beach just down the road, 2 minutes away, that we can go and visit and have great fun there. We've got a wonderful house that the bedrooms are bedrooms. They're not dormitories, and they can be cosy. They are cosy and colourful, with teddies on the beds and books on the beds, and the children adopt them and take them home. It is the opportunity to make many, many memories and really enjoy time with children that are in the same position as each other. They build friendships. And the most important thing is when they go home, They take home certificates of achievements that they've had through the week. It might be Honeypot Have a Go Hero for having the gumption to try new food, which is always quite a challenge for some of them. It might be that they've had to go on a bike for the first time. They also take home these bags full of gifts, which are like stocking filler gifts that we give them. And they remind them of Honeypot Children's Charity and the fun that they've had. But also, and perhaps more importantly, reminds them that they're going to come back to Honeypot House every year through their childhood for an additional break. And so it gives them something to look forward to. We all need something to look forward to in life, and young carers particularly do, because they are shouldering that responsibility. Between their annual respite breaks, we send them birthday cards, we send them Christmas presents, which is currently our winter fun book designed full of fun activities and memories of Honeypot. And we have a range of other support services, which are here. Our wraparound support services, we say, give the young carers the key to unlocking their brighter future. This is the theme for our upcoming appeal in June, where we're doubling donations online. So giving the key to their brighter future through our wraparound services, which include respite breaks. We also have pastoral support that supports any young carers that we've noticed on these breaks or any of our activities that are struggling and need a little bit more help, whether that's with filling in benefit forms or liaising with the school about additional support or accessing any other services. We have a wellbeing fund to provide grants for essential goods like a bed or school uniform or a desk in their bedroom to be able to allow them to do their schoolwork. We take the children on memory making days out. We get 250 tickets from Polton's Park every year, and we have done for the last 22 years. So that's a really lovely place to go. But things like going to Marwell or Bewley, days out on the beach in Bournemouth and attending one of the Bournemouth hotels, all sorts of activities and places we can go. We go online with the children. We did during COVID, and we've continued that quite significantly until about the last 6 months, when demand seemed to drop off. The demand for face-to-face activities is definitely what they want. So, but we are continuing some online activities of themed activities during the school holidays, arts and crafts or baking, that sort of thing. And the other service we provide for local schools is our social and emotional active learning breaks. We've got one going on right at the minute at the moment. I can see the children through the window. This is school at Honeypot. We don't take our young carers out of school, and so during term time weekdays, the house had traditionally been empty. So we've become accredited as an educational provider, and we run educational breaks for local schools for children in primary school who are struggling with the social skills, the emotional skills, to allow them to thrive in their education. And they come for a 4-day residential break, doing all our Honeypot activities, but with significant learning outcomes. And it's proving to be very, very positive, very popular with local schools, seeing great impact, and also helping to identify hidden young carers within those group of children that are struggling at school. So it all fits together. We are a charity, and we do need to raise over £2 million a year to do what we do. Now, that sounds like an awful lot of money, or it does to me anyway, and particularly when you're dealing in knitted bees and collecting pots, which is most of what my job is. But it all adds up, and every penny makes a difference, even just £1 or £2, depending on postage costs, which are going up at the moment, I know. Even the smallest amount can help us send a birthday card to a child. But currently it costs us £480 to fund a 3-day, 2-night Honeypot respite break for a young carer. So how can anybody help us? Well, thinking specifically about business partnerships or support by local businesses, we try to develop our partnerships with businesses so that it can be mutually empowering for both of us and complement the work that we do, so that not only can the business help us, but we can help them too. There are many ways that we can work together. Obviously, the most important for me is spreading the word, because the more people that know about Honeypot, the more referrals we get for young carers, and also hopefully somebody will support us. There are many, many charities out there in the New Forest doing amazing, amazing work with so many different vulnerable people or organisations. We can't help everybody, and it's important to find the charity that is close to your heart. So hopefully by spreading the word, even if we're not the charity for you, it might be that somebody hears about us and consequently then finds something they're passionate about. So we do have a lot on social media at the moment. We have an electronic newsletter that goes out. Word of mouth obviously is important. We do partnerships with businesses to raise funds for our young carers. We've currently got World of Sweets making sweet pots, which our logo is on, and a proportion of the costs, funds raised from that, the profits from that come to Honeypot. And there are various other organisations that have supported us in such ways. Very locally, lots of very small businesses have collecting pots for us, or keep our knitted bees, which are just behind me on my shoulder, on their reception desks, and people make donations for those. It can be whatever level you like. We do welcome local business people to Honeypot House to visit. It's the best bit of my job, showing people around. So you're very welcome. Do get in touch if you'd like to come. Or we can hold lunch and learn sessions, either in person or online. Very similar to this sort of presentation, but it could be more interactive. We have volunteering opportunities, which is obviously a key thing for some businesses wishing to offer their staff volunteering. That can be with the children on respite breaks now. That's something we're offering for one individual at a time. At fundraising events, we go to local community events all the time, and you can even dress up as a giant bumblebee, but to help us on our stalls and interact with people is a great way to be. Obviously, if you have specific skills that might help and support our operations, then we're very willing to hear about those too. We have lots of events. I've got a slide in a second with all the events coming up. So sponsoring our events, we've got a carol concert in Romsey Abbey in December. We're always looking for sponsorship for, donating raffle prizes, and please come along because they're good fun, and you can help and hear more. We have a big appeal coming up in June. We have match funding appeals where donations are doubled in June and December. And this one in June is about providing the key to unlock the future for young carers, supporting our services. It's a tough year this year for everybody, I know, and it's a tough year for us. So we're really pushing the boundaries with this one. If anybody wants to know about that, then there is a donation link online, and it opens on the 4th of June. We encourage payroll giving for employers. That's a great way of donating. And if anybody wants to jump out of a plane, we can provide them with wings, well, a bee anyway, and a t-shirt to support them. We have knitting and crochet opportunities if anybody likes to get crafty, and we're just launching a legacy campaign. So if there's anybody out there that would like to spread the word about that, that would be great. This is a very busy slide, I know, but it does profile all the things that we can link in with, actually, for anybody who's interested in supporting. The Summer Big Give is the appeal I've talked about. We've got a sweepstakes fundraising pack coming up for the Olympics. We've got a lovely bike ride from Honeypot House in New Forest to our Welsh house in August. That's an externally organised event, but obviously linked with us, and just for Honeypot supporters. And then a variety of other kilt walks, because we've got our Scottish house open now. We're very focused on kilt walks. It's very exciting. But Tough Mudders and comedy nights and various runs are very much the thing to be going at. So yes, if you're interested, do get in touch. I think I've pretty much covered most things now. Just to say that even just by listening or watching a video, you are raising the profile of young carers and helping to build brighter futures and create happy childhood memories. And I'm very grateful to be able to talk to anybody and everybody. I'm very enthusiastic, and would be delighted to share more with you if you would like to come visit Honeypot House. Thank you very much.
Excellent. Thanks, Viv.